Hello everybody, this is FancyKnightMan here. As you can tell by the board, we're going to go ahead and look at something other than playing live blitz. Recently I've been reading a book called Starting Out the Sicilian by John Ems, and it's really been helping me out with the Sicilian and specifically the Yugoslav attack. There's other things I still haven't finished the book. I've basically gotten through 50 pages and it's really good. But I'd like to share a couple information with you. So a couple bits of information, about the Sicilian. So the Sicilian and the Dragon variation specifically, something that I play a lot. So we usually see this knight f3, and in the videos you guys usually see me play this. Captures, and I know to do this because it puts pressure on this e-pawn, knight attacking the e-pawn, and you don't want to really advance this pawn. Advancing this pawn just leads to really a pawn advantage for white, or for black, sorry. Best move for knight is probably knight b5. If knight goes back to try to attack this pawn, then just queen x d1. This is not good for white. Alright, so we know that the defense for this is knight c3. And from here, a couple moves can be played, but the dragon starts with g6. And this signals the dragon. Usually what I like to do is knight c6, but we'll cover that another day. Knight c6 is just a little... It's just odd. It allows this bishop b5 move that I don't particularly like seeing. So I just go for this d6. If, however, bishop b5 now, then bishop d7 should be fine. Exchanging the bishops. Bishop captures and then knight can capture. And this is just fine as well. You're probably going to go for an e5 advance. What white usually likes using against this dragon system is this Yugoslav attack, which is bishop e3. Alright, so I learned a couple things with the bishop b3. First of all, black cannot attack the bishop right away. Can you guys see the move? Alright, well the move is bishop b5. Check. After the bishop blocks, or knight blocks, but bishop blocks seems more logical, defending and attacking. You can just swoop up this knight because this bishop is pinned. If bishop captures now, well then just knight captures, and you're just simply up a piece. So this is a nice tactic to be aware of when playing the white side of the Yugoslav attack, and playing the black side as well. I think I've done this once, and I didn't get punished for it, but I should have gotten punished. And so black can continue on development with bishop b7. Usually what white likes to do is f3 to prevent this future knight here after this castle. So let's say, for example, here, castles. Now this knight g4 is available. This bishop can't go anywhere really. If it tries to go here, it'll get forked with this pawn. Goes here. That's still kind of bad because h6 is coming. And after this queen, after this bishop here, the problem is, bam, shikalam, and then e5. And now you're attacking queen, bishop, and there's a piece threatened at the end. So that's an interesting tactic to be aware of. F3 is kind of vital. So usually players play it right away. F3. Play continues castling. Queen d2. Development of the knight. Queen side castling. Bishop d7. And then usually bishop c4. I haven't studied lines where h4 plays yet, so so summarize what I just said. I haven't played lines. I haven't seen any lines where bishop doesn't come to c4 yet. So just for my sake, I'm going to play bishop c4. In later videos, if you guys want to see lines where the bishop stays on f1, I'm sure I'll run into some lines on the book that I'm reading right now by John Ems. But for now, we're just going to stick with the bishop c4. This normal Yugoslav attack formation where white develops all his pieces and then starts throwing everything in the kitchen sink towards black. Now black has this interesting move, rook to c8, which looks normal, attacking the open file, but the problem is there's an issue with h4 here. Can you guys spot the issue with h4? It's a tactical issue. So I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds. Alright, well the problem with h4 is that after knight captures d4, the queen has to capture this knight because the rook is attacking this bishop. So you're defending the bishop as normally, but then you have this knight g4, which unleashes this bishop on the queen and simultaneously attacks this bishop. And the queen, in reality right now, is overloaded. it can't defend both these things. For example, queen here seems natural, but then a move like knight e5 wins both pieces. Well, let's just avoid that board. Bishop here, or knight here, sorry, and the knight and the rook are still. And if the rook captures the bishop, the knight still attacks, so you'll get an exchange. But this idea seems lost, because after bishop c3, pawn captures, black seems like they're doing a lot, and they're doing well, because queen a5 is coming next, pressure on this with 2 rooks, and this attack won't be as fast as black's attack. I can promise you that. So that's the issue with pushing h4 right away. So what we see is bishop back, or knight captures c3. Knight captures c3 is more common in blitz, but I've noticed. But I don't like it specifically because rook captures, and then after h4, you still get this rook captures. After here, this queen a5 idea comes in, and there's a lot of pressure on black. Maybe this b5, b4 advance coming in soon. Pressure down the c file. Black's attack seems more intimidating and faster than white's attack. It's usually why I don't like see knight captures knight. So bishop usually comes back, stay on this diagonal, and then knight e4 or e5, sorry, comes in, and now this h5 is okay. So this is kind of the Yugoslav attack and the Sicilian attack, I guess you want to say. I'd like to say. And now from here, black can respond with h5, or they can continue their attack with knight c4. If h5, usually what white wants to do is prepare for some moves. So king b1, then after move like knight here, captures, rook d to e1 just to protect this bishop, protect this pawn for eventual f4 pushes. Or you can just throw everything in the kitchen sink right away. But the problem with this is that there's issues with the defense. Black can just push back, or even worse, knight can just capture. And after this recapture, it's not as good as it seems. Bishop captures c4. So you gotta be careful with this g4 move too. It's not as powerful until you prepare it. So some best play probably knight d to e2. Trying to get this sacrifice exchange off of the board. Because usually if white were to continue with its normal plans after this h5, usually after h4 you want the bishop here to be more active. And there's tactical issues. Knight captures e4 is one of those tactical issues. Knight captures e4, bishop and the rook are both on here, so queen c1 is probably needed. You can do queen e2. That's fine too. Probably not my best though. Queen e3 probably is better. But you just end up with black having this huge initiative. So there's a lot of lines that pose some issues for white with this h5 move. But generally, what you want to do is get your king out of the way of the line of sight of the c file whenever the black side places h5. And then after knight c4, bishop captures c4, rook captures c4. You can see this better. Make this rook d to e1 to defend the bishop. Maybe even rook h to e1, giving up the whole attack entirely because this is stunted now. And I think you'd be fine. As white, you would have to defend and attack through the center, which is interesting. And in the case of that black does not play this h5 and continues with their knight c4 attack, what you want to do is just capture, and then you can move this king b1 out of the way again. But then this h5 move comes in, and after knight captures h5, g4, king, knight back. Really, what happens is that this knight allows the opening of the h file. And after this move here, and there's a lot of theoretical lines. If bishop captures here, that's usually bad because then you get this attack going on. Rook captures c3 is usually normal. Then this g5, just ignore that. And white has a huge advantage. Usually in this position, what I see players do a lot is bishop capturing here, and that's really bad because queen a5 allows black to at least equalize, if not gain a big initiative, because his attack's coming up fast. For example, g5, and then we have knight h5. After rook captures, pawn captures, and white's just trying to pry open this file. The issue with this is that it allows queen here, and after rook captures here, doesn't matter. Queen here, king up, queen here, king anywhere else, queen back here. The attack is defended, and then black is just up a piece. I guess you could say it's equal from here because king b2 really stops that idea by defending the critical a1 square. But then you have issues with queen capture c3, and the rooks can't just open up this file. I mean, if you try this again, I feel as though black has the initiative again. You cannot sacrifice this again because after this, you just have queen captures d4 and the same idea, defending back. So probably just rook d3, attacking the queen, trying to get it out of there. And after queen b4 check, you just have king a1. And this position is really black initiative. Black is trying to attack while white is just down a piece. And white's trying to gain a kingside attack. And that's really what you went for if you're playing Yugoslav attack and you're white. You're trying to go for a queenside attack. Kingside attack, sorry. So usually theoretically correct is either rook captures here or just, so rook captures here, and then what happens is white usually plays to g5. So usually you don't want to capture with the bishop. That's a mistake. So what you can do instead is you can do the theoretically correct knight captures e5. It's a tactical attack. You have to see what's going on the board in order for this to work. The problem here is that you can't really capture here because rook captures d4 attacks the queen, and that's piece for piece. That's fine. And after queen, let's say h2, we see this rook captures d1, followed by knight captures d1, and then we have this bishop f6 simply getting out of the way of this. And if this pawn moves up, well then bishop e5 is just fine, attacking the queen again. It's important to notice that you can capture this pawn rook, but there's no problem for white. The queen captures here. I feel as though black can do better just to bring his queen out. If this check is not available, this is not available, white is stuck with his attack. This bishop is just too good in this position. After this, just queen captures is fine. So this is really, it looks scary for black, but in reality, there's no practical way to pry open this H file if it's all defended. You have to get this dark squared bishop out of there. You just have to. So that's what's wrong with this bishop. Well, it's not wrong. I guess it's just tested, and it looks equal for both sides. So this is the first major issue. They can capture, you can capture. Either way, there's an issue. And the move here is knight captures h5. There is also the bishop back, and having the same idea where white can't really capture. Can capture, but doesn't really want to capture because then the attack is gone. And after rook can't capture that, but after pawn here, this knight here, I believe, knight h5, and this is just fine for black. If not, I think white has a tempo initiative, but I don't think there's anything big. This game could end in a draw. There's many weaknesses on the white side, specifically talking to this pawn structure. This pawn is backwards, so it's a target. There's a light squared bishop on the board. There's a rook that's active. The queen can come over right away and attack this pawn. There's a lot of attacking chances for black. Maybe queen here to put third attacker on this, moving the knight out of the way, unleashing the queen. So there's a lot of things that can go into this game. I wouldn't allow that. I would never do this. I don't think I would ever do that. Just allow the sacrifice of that. But that's just me. Okay. Well, that's a little overview of the Yugoslav attack. Usually, white likes to do is white likes to pry open the H file via this, and this is an example I'll give you guys. queen captures, rook captures, g4, and then something like, I want to capture here, I think would be fine. Queen here, attacking the pin piece. No, maybe even just, not even attacking the pin piece, maybe even just knight here. And then this bishop is offered, but I feel queen a5 again is a strong move, attacking and getting ready for this queen a1 idea. King b2, king b1 or queen b2 are probably best. King b2, I still don't like king b2 because queen b6, there's an attack again, and king c1 is forced, rook c8, and there's a lot of pressure. It seems like black has initiative. So usually you don't capture like this. Usually what you can do is sacrifice your rook for this knight, and after captures, queen rook here, there's simply no defense to this attack. Queen c1 threatening this is fine, but after rook h here, there's no defense. There's no real defense against this h7 mate. You can try to create an escape square, but oops, sorry, no, this is mate right here. You can try to do something like rook captures, knight captures, bishop here, pawn here, bishop, knight, queen here to defend this pawn. But after g6, this is just tactically over. There's no defense of this queen. Queen captures g6 is fine, but the final tactic is rook g5, winning the queen. And white is simply doing fine. A piece and a queen versus a rook, and that'll probably win. I don't see any defense against this, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, well, that's the kind of Yugoslav attack, Sicilian defense game that you see unfold. The ways to attack with black involve queen a5 and the rooks coming over and attacking the c-file and attacking the king, and the ways to attack this king side structure from the white side, as Bobby Fischer said, is you just pry open h-file, sack, or sack, I think, mate, there you go. Well, yeah, I hope you guys got something out of it. Leave a comment below if you guys want to see videos similar to this one, or if you guys just want me to do something in particular. I wouldn't mind doing anything. Right now I'm just studying for to get better at chess. I'm reading Sicilian starting out, the Sicilian, like I said. And I really got inspired because recently I won a chess tournament and I won a wooden chessboard, chess set. It's pretty big. Yeah, and I just love it. I've been doing well in my chess career, I guess I could say that. Not a career, but my chess hobby. Thank you guys for watching these videos. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Thank you.